Okay, we're gonna make a start at this one. Secret Files, Sam Peters. This is the female that was in the second Secret Files game. She was helping us out while we were in the jungle. So she's got her own game. Max has not gotten his own game. He's probably not happy. So let's give this a start. And it's obviously not. This must be my. Yeah, it's my partner's game. Let me just load it up. Let's hit the play. Cool. I will shall check that out later. Right, let me get rid of that screen. Let's hit the configuration because I haven't been in it. Yeah, we shall bump that up. VSync on. You're gonna look for some monsters. No problem, Silver. That's all okay. The rest is fine. Play. There we go. Deep Silver again. Let's see how stuck we get on this one. Oh yeah, sorry. It's just because you play Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter was the first thing that popped into my head when I saw the word monster. Yeah, Loch Ness is one of the areas we're going to. I think we'll just leave the volume at that. It looks okay, doesn't it? You've just played a bit of Valheim and you Biome is crazy. You had to stop yourself because it's late and you'd be playing until dawn. Some games just pull you in, don't they, and keep you there. I spent a massive amount of time when I first played Valheim. It was my favourite game of the year it came out. I played it so much. I probably burnt myself out at that point.
My name is Sam Peters. I'm comprehensively great looking, a natural blonde, and a highly intelligent one. I'm extremely tough, an exceptional journalist, and I hate modesty.
I was just lowering the volume down a tad. You're playing some amazing cultivation simulator tonight. I have not heard of that one.
I work for Uncharted. It's basically Playboy for scientists. Fewer naked women, fewer cars, more text. We report on excavations in, and expeditions to, the remotest corners of the world. The pay is, to be exact, pretty miserable. But you get adventure on tap, and that's the best bonus you could ask for.
It's a bit like Dwarf Fortress, okay. I'll have a look at that then. Amazing. You are not none. Playboy for scientists. You both want signed up.
Although sometimes they're hairy, even for my taste. My latest trip took me to Indonesia, where local archaeologists had discovered an ancient temple complex in the jungle. Team members were disappearing one after another without trace. Turns out, it was terrorists. They kidnapped me.
That's from the second game.
My old friend Max showed up and got me out of there. And here we are. He's off trying to get a whiff of the gang's plans. I'm supposed to inform the Indonesian authorities.
It's themed after Chinese Zanzia cultivation fantasy book movies. Okay. Another thing I don't recognize.
Oh, and a volcano has now erupted and half of the island is in flames. I have no idea where Max is now, and I'm not going looking for him in this inferno. Anyway, it's supposed to be the man who goes through flames for the woman, and not the other way around. My task is clear. I have to escape from this island and bring help from the mainland.
But I think she maybe did. I was just wondering if this was a reverse image of her. So it just suddenly was this not on the other side? Was the birthmark not on the other side? Yeah, offshore Bali, Indonesia. There we go, Kaiser.
Done it. Now let's hightail it out of here. Crap. This inflatable dinghy is missing some, inflation. Reminds me of my last relationship. So how am I supposed to get to the mainland now?
They've went to town on the graphics on this one, haven't they? Game's controlled completely using the mouse in order to... Yeah, okay. The mouse button will change. That's all the same as previously. We've got inventory bar. That's the same. That's all the same. There. Hey, Raiders. Greenie. Good morning, Greenie. How are you today? The dice are the way. Here are the trees. You were playing more Marvel's Midnight Suns. How are you this morning? How's Greenie? Hope you had a good stream.
Well, yeah, of course.
Thank you for bringing your viewers.
Ah, she fell.
We've just made a start. We finished Secret Files 3, so we've just made a start at the spin-off. Sam Peters. Good to see you.
That's fantastic.
Technical difficulties aside, it was fun times. Oh, okay. As long as you still had fun. I hope you didn't have a Windows update yesterday. I had a Windows update yesterday, which I decided to install, and I just left it installing last night. And it had lost all my sound settings again in Streamlabs. So. But apart from that, it was okay. But yeah, it's never great having technical difficulties. Stinky, yeah. But yeah, hope your Midnight Suns is going well. It's been a pain for you lately. Network dropping frames and all that, okay. And it's not just your connection, or make OBS run as administrator sometimes helps. But yeah, there's always problems in there to overcome. I have neither cat here today. I don't know where they are. They've all disappeared. This always starts as admin, yeah. Yeah, I don't know where the cats are. They've disappeared. It is a very nice day outside. I can't see Baron in this cat here. Unless he's hiding... Oh! That's a paw. There's a paw sticking out of the cat here. Out of one of the bedrooms. Just up at the top there. Can I zoom in on that? There's a paw, look. He's asleep in one of the bed boxes up at the top. Yeah, I can't enhance it anymore. Enhance, yeah. Had some fun battles, made lots of friends in the game. Secret Files is going fine, yep. We're we're just a way to make a start on this new one. They've always the puzzles are just a wee bit obscure at times, but we're getting there. with the help from everybody. So yeah. I think Luna's out hunting somewhere. I haven't seen her all morning. But Baron's obviously sunning himself. I don't know if we can see that from anywhere else. No, the other bed box is behind. Oh well, that's it there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Why is that not letting me zoom in? Zoom in. I can't see. I think he's in there, but I can't really see him. She will be back with a mouse or a deer or something. Yeah, or a mole. Starfish. Oops. Does this game not like being toggled? This game does not like being toggled. I'm going to have to close the game and go back in. Some of the neighbors' jewellery, yeah. Let's try that again. Oh, what's going on? It says it's running, but it's not. It doesn't want to stop the game. Oh, there. Right, so I can't toggle out of this game. We have to remember that. I don't have any save games, presumably. No, okay. Okay, let's just skip past all the starting bit again.
My name is
Yeah, look,
Peters.
look. Her
I'm
birthmark's over there.
looking, a natural blonde, and a highly intelligent one. I work for Uncharted, although sometimes team members.
And now it's over there. They just reversed the image.
The island is in flames. I have no idea where Max is now.
Okay, we're in Bali, in Indonesia. They've just horizontally flipped it. I don't like it when they do that.
Done it. Now let's hightail it out of here. Crap. This inflatable dinghy is missing some, inflation. Reminds me of my last relationship.
But then,
So how am I supposed to get to the mainland now?
I can't really say anything. If you watch me at the bottom there, my camera, like, see my logo, look, see my logo. Wait, it's over at the other side. A lot of the phones will automatically do it for front-facing camera, yeah, which is clever, so and good in that respect. But yeah, not I don't like it in games when they do that. It's cheating. Right, what do we have? We have a message in a bottle.
A message in a bottle.
They've definitely
This
upped
beach doesn't miss a single postcard cliche.
the graphics. Although the grass isn't moving. The trees are there. Okay, we've got a message in the bottle.
There's a note inside the bottle. Unfortunately, I can't open the top.
Drone riot.
Yeah, the lighting's a lot better, isn't it? Hey, Ver, good morning. How did your Elden Ring go? I was watching for as long as I could yesterday. I left myself lurking quite a lot though.
There's a note inside the bottle.
Okay, she can't open the top. Well, can we not just smash the bottle onto something? Onto some rocks? That's what I would do. You knocked off a few bosses, slow and steady progress. You've been playing any more Kaiser as well? You've been playing it lately, haven't you? we've got a metal crate.
What the hell is Max stashed in this box?
That's his lunch.
Locked. Maybe I can get it open some other way.
It's a big place, that. It's a bit of a maze.
Max and his weakness for fancy locking mechanisms.
Knowing these games, we'll have to construct a message removing device, yeah. Okay, we've got a recess.
Obviously an M. There's a capital A above the recess. How strange.
1, 2, 3. Max. Says Max. Got a lurk. No problem, Vida, James. I'll take care. Thank you for having dropped in, though. I shall get Kaiser's new title added into the list. Right, so
Obviously an M.
1, 2, 3. Do we have to?
Interesting mechanism. I'm sure that by pushing the switch you can get Max's box open. There's a line. There's a line marked on the switch.
Yeah, it's a number 1. Oh. Okay. Oh, I can't do that. I'll take that one out of there.
Hope all the trouble's been worth it. Boots and socks. A satellite phone would have been nice.
Air pump parts. She never mentioned that.
A stripped down air pump.
Okay. What's that bit for? It looks like one, doesn't it? Does that not go in the bottom? No. Surely the hose goes... Or does that come out of there? No. There. There. Okay. We have a pump. We've got socks. Rubber boots. Can we put the bottle in the... there? Okay, anything else here? We've got volcano.
Doesn't show any sign of stopping. I hope Max is alright. When Max came here with this boat, it was in a considerably better state.
Looks like there's a hole.
A bullet hole, those bastards.
We've got a dead crab, we've got a rock. Can we not smash the bottle on the rock? Look at all that glass everywhere.
Shards are lucky. I can't translate this. It's
Oh.
either Indonesian or Malaysian.
It's okay, we've got Kaiser here. He can read it for us. She won't let us read it though. We've got a dead crab.
The mortal remains of a crab. Definitely past its sell-by date as a food source. But that claw might make a useful tool.
Okay, we have a claw. We have some glass. Or I can use that in the
Big
boots
for me anyway. I'll cut a
to
piece
get
of
the rubber for the hole. Okay, that can go over the rubber over the hole.
This piece of rubber is big enough to patch the hole, but the boat's pretty dirty. I don't think it's gonna stick.
Can we wipe the boat with the socks?
Let's clean away this grease and sand. This piece of rubber is big enough to patch the hole. I don't think it's gonna stick.
She's quite... The voice acting's very good on her. She was the best one when she was in the second game as well. What did she say there? Do not...
This piece of rubber is big enough to patch the hole. I don't think it's gonna stick.
Why?
I'll jam the piece of rubber between the claws.
And what's that going to do?
This piece of rubber is big enough to patch the hole. I don't think it's gonna stick.
Crab claw with a piece of rubber.
The piece of rubber is stuck fast between the claws.
What are we going to do with the socks? Can we go in anywhere else?
The volcano's out of control. Whatever it is I'm doing here, let's do it fast.
There's a big arrow there.
Looks like an arrow. Best be careful. It could be a trap. Nah, not interesting in the slightest. Not much going on there. I'll just take the one bone.
We have a bone. And we don't have anything to pick it with. We've got 2 routes. Path into jungle. Oh, look at the lava. That's pretty well done, isn't it?
The heat's so intense, this bush has caught fire.
Mm. Melt the rubber. Can we put that onto there to make it
Jam the
longer?
crab claw onto the end.
Heat the rubber.
Like roasting marshmallows. You have to know when enough's enough. Melted enough? Quite beautiful, also rather scary.
We can touch it.
Generally, more heat is better. In this case, I'll make an exception.
Okay. Will we go the other path while we're here?
No man is so great that a woman will go back into hell for him. And Max isn't all that in the first place. No, on this occasion, I'm going to respect that rule. Make an exception to my own and actually do what I'm told.
Right, let's use the melted rubber on the hole.
Perfect.
Right, nice pump up the volume.
Let's get this dinghy back on the high seas.
Is that gonna work now?
Now I can get out of here at last. I haven't phoned in for days. My editor will be going loopy. Home at last. First, I'm going to treat myself to a drink. And then I will listen to the 25 messages my charming editor has left for me. He sounds a bit miffed because I've only just got back from Indonesia. My excuses had better wait. He's already got a new job lined up for me. Oh, it's an important one by the sounds of it. Could be big for the magazine. I'd better not waste any time. Sure, a girl like me can find a new job really fast, but it still sounds like hassle I don't need. I'd best take the next flight to Berlin. I need to meet up with a Professor Hartman.
We not had a Professor
He heads up
Hartman.
a research group at Humboldt University, and our magazine is one of the sponsors of his Africa expedition. It seems that our professor is hot on the trail of some scientific sensation out there. How often have I heard that shit? The sensation is usually some frothy bullshit that we can't even use to fill the summer news gap. Anyway, I'm clinging on to this job, which means I'm headed out to Africa with the professor at the next opportunity. I don't know exactly where we're going, so anything could be in store. And that is exactly what I love about this damn job.
I've got a parcel coming today. I'm just checking when it's coming. It's bound to come when I'm out for like 10 minutes. Got my Heroes and Might and Magic 3 board game arriving.
The Biological Institute. This is where I'm supposed to meet Professor Hartman. The gate's locked.
Yes, can I help you?
Hello, my name is Peters. I've got an appointment with Professor Hartman.
I'm sorry, but he's no longer in the building.
What? But he wanted to meet me here this evening.
According to our database, the professor is away on an expedition.
He's already set off? But I was supposed to be going with him.
Yes, well, not every department of this facility is as efficiently organized as the security department is.
Shit. My boss is gonna go bananas when he finds out I've missed this shot. What am I supposed to do now?
You need to
Can
fly
hear
out
me?
after him.
Yes,
Departure date.
Do you know exactly when the professor jilted me?
just a second. It looks like it was this morning.
I'll look. Oh, here's Luna coming. I can hear Luna coming in.
Do you know where the professor was headed?
No, but
Hello.
you can ask his secretary.
Great. Where is she?
Frau Mueller has already left for the weekend. She'll be back Monday morning.
Have you got her home number?
We do. But I couldn't possibly give out private staff details to members of the public. Be patient and come back Monday.
Patience is definitely not an option. No professor, no story. I need to find him as fast as I can.
We're going
If I
this way.
only knew
Okay.
where he was headed.
Oops. No! Back in. Luna just walked over my keyboard. There's Luna. She's getting a treat. She's down there. Look. There she goes. Yeah, you've had them all now. There's none left. Off. No. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Did you want some food? Food here for you. There's food in the kitchen. Yeah, she's away to get her food. She stomped all over the keyboard. Alright, let's check out. Let's get the cell phone.
Does Professor Hartman have a cell number by any chance?
Doesn't look like it. We only have his office number here.
I like the keyboard.
Now I'm really in a jam. Could you perhaps pop along to Professor Hartman's office and see if he's left a note for me?
If he had left you a note, then it would be here at reception, I'm sure.
Could you perhaps imagine letting me into his office for just a mo?
If you'd like to know precisely, no, not in my wildest dreams. But I wish you a refreshing, stress-free weekend.
Same to you. With bells on. Looks like I'm gonna have to help myself. No gate stopped me before. I need to get into the professor's office to find out where he's gone. If I mess up this assignment, then that's my job out the window.
See if you were putting a security camera up at a gate. that had an intercom on the left hand side of the gate. We do not have the camera pointing down at it, so you could see who was talking to you, rather than watching the bins. Right, what do we got? We've got a letterbox.
There's a notice from garbage collection stuck on the letterbox. According to this, the BSR collects the waste paper first. Then another truck comes for the bio waste. The bulky stuff goes tomorrow.
Okay, so the camera turns to watch, look.
The waste paper collection's been and gone.
He was also would have alerted security when she asked to be let into the office, yeah. To keep an eye on her. Are we gonna have to climb into a trash bin? Or climb over when... Yeah, we need to climb over when... the camera's...
Waste. Certainly the right color. Wow, that stinks. Well, okay, but just this once. Where's it supposed to go?
Oh. Oh right, I've got to move stuff away. I can put it over to there, to the wall.
If I use the garbage container to get over the wall, the doorman can't help but see me on the security camera. Nah, pushing empty trash cans is way below my preferred difficulty level.
Got a carpet.
A small rolled-up carpet. Has someone lost their faith? The first accessory for my sailboat. Now let's see what's in it.
Okay, we've got a photo.
I always keep this photo on me. It's supposed to remind me what I'm grafting for every day. Fulfilling my childhood dream of owning a pretty little white sailboat. I never actually have a lot of cash on me. I'll just pick up the €2 coin and stick it in my sailboat piggy bank. That's for the locker at the airport where I've stashed my travel luggage. Globetrotters like my humble self prefer electronic means of payment.
Can I save? There.
Unfortunately, not all of the walls in Berlin got ripped down. I know Berlin punks are finding new body parts to punch holes in every day, but I think we've some years yet before all-over body piercing comes into fashion.
The
Although,
carpet.
with that security camera there, perhaps I could upload the result to YouTube and set the trend. Who am I kidding? I'm no punk.
We could put the carpet over the wall.
If I throw the carpet over the metal spikes, I can climb over the wall unscathed, but I'd end up in full view of the security camera. It's not gonna work as is.
What did this say again?
There's a notice from garbage collection stuck on the letterbox. According to this, the BSR collects the waste paper first. Then another truck comes for the bio waste. The bulky stuff goes tomorrow.
Okay, so we've had one truck go past. Luckily for snoops, hackers and stalkers, most security aren't well trained. Hey Arachne. What do you want in? Yeah.
Hello. See me? Hey, I'm
Yeah, we finished the first one earlier this morning.
Hey, hey, hey.
Nah, pushing empty. The waste paper's empty.
What do you want in? You want some of these ones? A couple of these. There you go. You gotta go to hit to work now, Kaiser. No worries. I hope you have a good day. Take care. We needed you here really to show us around Indonesia and Bali. But if you have to go to work, that's okay. Can I? Well, I need that for there. What? That's the photo of the boat. So can we
I
phone?
don't have the professor's cell
No. Can we be in that annoying and?
intercom. It says doorman next to the button. I can't expect any help from the doorman. I'll have to find out for myself where Professor Hartman's gone off to.
Is there nothing else in here? You hear Bali is lovely. Yeah, it's meant to be, isn't it? I guess if you like, it's mainly. I don't know, most people just go for the sun and the beaches, don't they? I like to go and see the... What's the matter, Luna? You want to go out? You want the door open again? Hold on, I'll open the door for you. You want the hatch open? It was a quick... Yeah, I'll open it for you? Yep, she's one back out again. Let me just let her out. Right. So what could we do here? Yeah, museums and stuff. I mean, I like going around. I like to see the culture, and I like to see ancient places like Pompeii and that sort of thing. I like to go and see the. I like to go and see things. I don't like just lying on a beach the whole time. I like to try out all the local food because that's why I'm there. I'm not there to sun myself on the beaches. Yeah. I'm not quite sure what we do here. Have we missed the bin? Oh, we've got a curbstone.
The curbstone is full of chalk marks. Kids? No idea if this is relevant at all. I've just about got everything a girl could need in this little bag. But sadly, nothing to wipe these markings away.
Can we not mark something else? Can I leave a coin down there? No. We know what the carpet's for. Can't put the photo up there. We've got a sign.
The Humboldt University Biological Institute.
Yeah, exactly, Orkney. That's what I enjoy. I can hear. Sorry, it's our refuse bin emptying day today, and I can hear one of the trucks coming along the street, so it might get a bit noisy in the background.
The Biological Institute. This is where I'm supposed to be meeting Hartman. The professor's office is the only lead I've got for where he might be.
We need to get this bin. Why is the bin not getting emptied again?
Well, okay, but just this once. Where's it supposed to go?
Can I not move it over to there?
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, and then the camera will turn, won't it? Okay, now the lorry will come along. Hopefully. The camera will turn. Maybe. Come on.
Bio-waste. Certainly the right color. Wow, that stings.
So how do we get it to trigger now?
Nah, pushing empty trash cans is way below my preferred difficulty level.
When's the truck going to come?
can't expect any.
Is that everything that's here? Got the wall, intercom, camera.
The camera is directed at the entrance. It's only moved once, and that was when the garbage truck drove up, but only so far. It still keeps its original target area in sight. Not a good idea messing about with the camera. The doorman would be onto me right away.
How do we get this
With
to
an
work?
immediate effect, this container now falls under the responsibility of the City Waste Collection Service. I know Berlin punks are fine, although, unfortunately, not all of the walls in Berlin got ripped down. An empty wall.
Hmm. How do we get them to come back?
Closed. There's a notice from garbage collection stuck on the letterbox. According to this, the BS...
I would have just thought that would have triggered it. How do we get that to trigger again?
I've just about got everything. With immediate effect.
It's a lorry going past just now. It's gone past here, the refuse lorry, but not in the game. How do I get the refuse truck to come again?
The professor's office is the...
Because, I mean, we need to also push the bin over.
If I throw the carpet over the metal spikes, I could climb over easily enough. But then I'd be in full view of the security camera and the door...
Oh, a few minutes later, here we go. Right, so you had to do that. Okay, the camera's turned further this time, let's go.
Now or never. Made it. Now I somehow have to get into the Institute and find Professor Hartman's office.
We've got a hose.
A poorly coiled hose. Damn. The clamp is solid. I can't get the hose off.
Let's scratch it with the... Okay, we need to find something for that then. We've got a rake.
Now, if that's not the most cutest abandoned rake.
We've got a plastic toolbox. We might have some WD-40 in it.
A plastic box. That's what comes from leaving your tools lying around.
Nothing
I've
else?
already... What seemed to be the main entrance.
A window open and there's a ladder. Can we use the shears on the hose?
Freedom for garden hoses.
She broke the gardener's hose. Isn't that just dreadful?
The gardener would appear to give the weekend a higher priority than tidying up his tools. Good man. The perfect entry assistance.
Right, can we use the ladder for the window? Oh, there's a sign there.
Whoever said size doesn't matter was covering something up. This ladder, in particular, is way too short.
Is this a path?
That's a horse chestnut. It was Tree of the Year in 2005. How do I know that? It says so on the little sign.
She stole the
Sign's
sign.
fastened to the tree with
Oh, no.
4 screws. Nothing's gonna happen without some tools.
Oh no, you've got a credit card. You're fine.
I need something sturdy to
Oh,
loosen the screws.
it worked elsewhere.
Too big for the small screws.
Right, we need the sign. Can we put the rake through the
I'll tie
hose?
the hose as tightly as I can to the rake.
Throw that up to the window. Use the ladder to get up there.
Not even MacGyver could use that as a
MacGyver.
The hose is too stiff, and the rake's teeth are too short to grip onto anything.
I used to love MacGyver.
Who needs a bolt cutter when head shears can do the job just as well? I've cut through the chains.
Right, so we've now got a longer ladder.
Unfolded, the ladder's certainly long enough, but it's too flimsy to put weight on. I'll push the rake through both legs of the ladder and secure the whole thing with the garden hose.
It just seems like something MacGyver would do, and it still doesn't seem very
Sturdy
strong.
ladder. Well done, Sam.
And we definitely can't get this sign off, no?
Too big for the small screws.
I'm surprised that doesn't work.
I need something sturdy. These work gloves are at least 3 sizes too big for my delicate hands.
Okay, I guess we go up. Is that everything that's here? Yeah.
Climbing through windows. A real cat burglar me. And look, the coast is clear.
Okay, well, first off, we can get a snack from the machine.
A snack machine.
2 minutes until
Each of
adverts.
these little calorie bombs costs a cool $1.99. You only live once. I'll take a bag of crackers.
Can I use this,
Snack?
the one sent to undo the
1 cent
screws?
change. The 1 cent coin is thin enough to unscrew it. Amaze balls! Ugh, I have sunk to a new low. On the thin metal sign it says common horse chestnut and the Latin name Esculus hippocastanum.
Okay, so I wonder what that's for.
I think it works pretty well right there. I think it works pretty.
Okay, we've got ring binders.
Here's a box of empty file folders. Empty files. Useless. Forms and faculty notices. Not much interest to me. Nothing that I...
What snack did we get? Crisps.
Spicy crackers. I'll hang on to this snack for later.
Waste bin.
And there it is, the exception to the rule. You don't always find something useful in waste bins.
Okay, so we've got a door there we can go through. We've got 3 doors and 2 the stairs. Let's try this door first.
Won't open.
Good morning, Super. How are you today?
Not Professor Hartman's office. Not Professor Hartman's office. Go down and run into the doorman's arms, perhaps? I don't want to push my luck too far.
Hmm.
Professor Hartman's office.
That's the one we went into. It's
Won't
locked.
open. Doesn't fit.
No, we didn't think it would.
That'll work. I'll bet my sailboat on it. Phew. Okay, Sam. Find the damn info on where our perfidious professor's gone off to. And then maybe, just maybe, you'll get your story, a pay rise, and that nice little sailboat you're dreaming of.
We've got the desk which we can look at. Waste bucket, ring binders, more ring binders. Okay.
Files with details of students' projects and the prof's expeditions. Maybe I'll find a clue here. The TUR projects. I need some kind of a lead here or I won't know what I'm looking for. Time is a luxury I don't have. From algae to zygopedilum, there's everything a botanist's heart could desire here. I don't think that these books are going to help me further in any kind of way. These files are labeled CGL. I need some kind of a lead here or I won't know what I'm looking for. Time is a luxury I don't have. These files all have GHN on them.
Okay.
I need some kind of...
So we need to find a different clue to relate to that.
This section has projects marked ARJ.
ARJ. The file compressor.
There are some scraps of torn up paper on the top. There's some torn up paper on the top. I'll take a closer look. A ripped up fax. Now let's see if I can put this back together.
They had this on one of the other games.
It has to be the upper left corner of the document.
Yeah.
A perfect starting point. I'd better leave the piece just so.
Does that go there? Yeah. I need to move this one out of the way. Oops. Right, that definitely goes there. German.
His expedition party sent him a fax. They've discovered some hitherto unknown species.
GHN.
Great, but where, for heaven's sake? Unfortunately, there's only a code here. GHN 7531. but maybe that'll help me further.
I like to know what it says. It is in German. I can't read it all though. Telephone call discussion. With reference to the telephone discussion. Where's my... We spoke on the phone, yeah. Oops. So, schriftlich über die neuesten Entwicklungen informieren. What's it say? I don't want... Oh, it took it away again. It had translated it. Why can't I just pause the screen? Can I not just do that? As already discussed over the phone, I would also like to inform you in writing about the latest developments. However, you should keep our correspondence confidential for the time being, as it is too early for our discovery to become known. Regarding the latest findings, the species discovered 2 months ago has been proven to have its own chloroplasts. Ingestion of the cell organelles through food or contamination of the sample can be ruled out 99% of the time. As you suspected, this makes it the only animal we know of that is capable of photosynthesis. However, another result is giving us a headache. The first DNA analysis of the invertebrate organism puzzles us. We would like to ask you to join us immediately to collect new samples and analyze the genome of the species again. So far, we can't remotely assign it to a known something or other. Is that a last word? Yeah, assign it, okay. Right, so that's the file we need to go and look at.
These
GHN.
files all have GHN on them.
Well, that's the
This file
ones.
is marked GHN 7520 to GHN 7535. It ought to contain notes from the current expedition.
Yeah, my German's pretty rusty, very rusty. I mean, I did fail my German at school, so, and it was a long time ago. And I've only been in Germany for 1 day. So, so I didn't get a chance to practice it, really. So she found folder, she has.
Bingo. GHN 7531. The expedition has gone to Ghana, to Lake Bosomtwi. So what the hell are they looking for there?
8 kilometers in diameter, approximately 80 meters deep. Lies in a meteorite crater in Ghana, West Africa. It's approximately 1 million years old and is the newest impact crater on the Earth's surface. Is that a real place? Oh, I would look. I don't want to crash the game. Let me find my maps. Lake Bosumtwi. It is. Oh, it is. It's in Ghana. It's a real place. Yeah. It is a real place. It's quite a big lake as well.
Lake Bosomtwi lies in the meteorite crater in Ghana's Ashanti region. It's 8 kilometers in diameter, about 80 meters deep, and doesn't have an outflow. The ecosystem and the lake are endemic, meaning there are lots of plant and animal varieties that are unique to that location.
Log the flora and fauna of the endemic ecosystem around the lake. There are vague descriptions of animal plant varieties which are supposed to be unique and hitherto unknown. The lake itself has no outflow and only a limited number of inflowing tributaries. The region is also difficult to gain access to, can therefore be considered likely that the flora and fauna in and around the lake will exhibit endemic characteristics. Furthermore, investigations should also be made into how the origin of the lake has influenced the ecosystem which exists there today.
The priority is investigating the effects on the ecosystem of a massive meteorite strike.
They like their meteorite
What's
strikes
that on
in
the
the
facts?
games.
The expedition has discovered some previously unknown organism. If the story's big enough to pull the professor away with such short notice, perhaps it's big enough to buy me a boat. Let's hit the trail for Ghana and Lake Basumtwi. The flight to Accra via Amsterdam was pretty fuss-free, but the in-flight food
It's a KLM.
was crappy, as expected. I was able to revive myself with some traditional fufu and a few Gordon Sparks in a chop shop before a bush pilot flew me into an airfield by Lake Basumtwi. With a bit of luck, I'll be at the base camp in a few hours.
We've used KLM quite a lot. I quite like them as an airline.
Looks like everyone upped and left in the night. Strange. I've got goosebumps all of a sudden, despite the heat. I'm getting something of a horrible feeling here. I'd better get a move on so I can reach the Lake Basumtwi camp before nightfall.
We can go into the jungle. We have a toilet.
Hey, Dixie. Now what would those southerners say if they knew there was a mobile toilet named after their hymn? Holy shit. If a dead fish and a tramp had a baby and the baby threw up into a dog's mouth, the dog's end product would smell better than this toilet does. Even if I had to, I would not go in there.
We have a megaphone.
I should maybe give it a test.
We'll use that to scare the cat away.
Come, gather round, and have the piss taken out of you by a crazy lady with a megaphone. Ooh, I like it. Airport terminal, Africa style. A little bit too rustic for
Oh,
my
we're still at
taste.
the airport.
Where's the air-conditioned bar and duty-free shop? Lemonade. Sweet as shit and warm to boot. But even ice cold, it's not an option. If I want to avoid doing my figure some real harm. Well, okay, I'll take it with me. But be aware that this is non-alcoholic piss water.
Oh, batteries. Almost missed them.
Hell, they've seen better days. Now then, any juice left in these at all?
Oh, they're really corroded. We have a pole. It's not a straw pole, it's made out of wood. We have a cup,
It's certainly seen better days.
just like everything else around here.
Yarr! Sorry.
Right, Captain Hook Gursley. Can we use the pocket knife to unscrew the
Pocket
hook?
knife only has this one blade, but it's extremely versatile. I can unscrew screws with it, for example.
Okay, we have a hook. Oh, we've got a tape voice recorder now, have we? And a lighter. Okay.
Large scratches torn into the wood. Must have been something considerably bigger than the cat over there. Sits around all day. Probably shows up for food and fondling. Men. Just two admittedly unfortunate words. Cat allergy.
There's a fan there. Is that everything around here? Pole cat. It's not a pole cat, it's just a normal cat. Could be a Bengal cat. And we can go into the jungle. And we've got wire rope for the flagpole. No, not the flag, the windsock. There's hook, but no Mr. Smee.
Looks like a reliable enough contraption. It clamps 2 ropes together. In this situation, unfortunately, the pocket knife is entirely useless.
Can we light it?
Okay, I've caressed the screws. Now what?
Okay, we need a wench. A wrench.
Crates of provisions. Well, I'm not gonna starve to death here, that's for sure. I'm not that hungry yet.
Can we do the lemonade on the wire rope? I don't know why, but... Can we mix that with the batteries now? Oh, we've got more things. Oh, the phone. That's no use, right.
Not exactly the best of the best, but it can take a usable picture, and the flash is top-notch. They fit, but will they have enough power?
Oh, can I get... Oh, why won't they go in? Oh, with old batteries, I've got new batteries, okay.
The old batteries probably still have enough juice in them for playback, but the voice recorder's still not showing that there's anything on it that could be played back. The megaphone would make a good amplifier for the voice recorder, but I have to record something first.
Okay, so we have to go into the jungle. Record something. Oh, can I not just record the cat meowing?
The batteries are too weak to record.
I just swapped the batteries out.
With the new batteries in, it plays at a normal speed.
Ah, okay.
Hello, Mr. Kitty. How about an interview? Thank you for the profound discussion.
Okay, so we put the old batteries in to make it slow
I'll
down.
change the batteries. Sparkling new batteries. Let's see how much juice is in these old batteries. Somewhat quiet and pretty damn distorted, but not uninteresting.
Okay, so we need that noise for something, and then we do that
I'll
at some
hold the
point.
megaphone close to the voice recorder speaker. Listen, who's that speaking? Sounds really grisly.
Okay, we probably need that to
Head
scare
south
something
northeast
off.
from here. That's where we want to be headed. Where's that perverse stink coming from? Oh, right. Pumbaa. They may be cute in cartoon form, but in the real world, those warthog tusks should not be underestimated.
Did you want a treat? Right, we have a tree trunk.
As long as that hog's eyeballing me, I really don't give a damn about the tree trunk.
Can we use this?
Perhaps the pig's got a cat allergy as well. Success.
Okay. We've got a branch.
I don't need a walking stick quite yet, but hey, you never know. Straight and long. Could be useful.
Got everything here? Ants.
I must have scared him up.
Sweet. Lemonade. Can I catch
I
them?
can't get at them with my bare hands.
Gloves. Did we not have gloves? Or was that previously? Cup. Come back. Stick. Do we need the ants? Hmm. Do I need them?
I can't get at them with my... If I'm going to attach the hook to the branch, I'm going to need something more substantial than my iron will.
Okay, so we probably need to come
You
back.
have launched the task
No.
help function. As soon as a task becomes available, this is where you will find... This means you will always know what you have, but don't worry.
We'll leave that bit just now then. Let's keep going. Need to find something to attract the ants.
Just like in the adventure movies. So, what do we have? Great. The guide rope on the right-hand side of the bridge is broken. That's all I need. I can't get across with it like that. I need to repair the rope first. If I ignore the busted guide rope and try to cross, I'll soon be acquainted with the chasm floor.
What's this here? No.
A prime example of a professional bodge job. It's really quite miraculous that this has stood here as long as it has. Unfortunately, I can't do much here with just my bare hands. Other than strangle people with dumb ideas.
Can we can't use the hook on that because we obviously need that for there, for that. Can I metal? I can do that. No. Okay, so we can't.
That would be somewhat counterproductive right now. It's really quite miraculous that this has stood.
Chasm bag. Oh, there's a bag. Is there a bag?
Tool bag hanging down there. I hope nobody left it there when they took the express route to the bottom. The bag's hanging too low. I can't reach it.
That's why we need the hook. But we can't do that.
Attach the...
Right, we missed something. So we need to get something to tie the hook on to the stick. We need, I don't know what the ants are for. We've got the rope back here. We could do with the clamp. We need to get the clamp off. How do we get the clamp off? to mend the wire.
A limp sock. Reminds me of my ex. You know what? Enough of that.
Are these scotches for something? Can I use this hot? Oh, I can use the
Pull out
knife.
thread. In fact, this cap is such a waste of space, I'll throw the rest away.
Okay, so we've got some thread.
Looks
this-
like a rod, with neither a hook nor bait. One long hook thing coming right up.
Okay, so we've got the hook, so we can go back. Try and get the bag.
Come to mama. Well, what have we got here then?
Oh, we've got the wrench. Right, let's go back. Why? Oh, we've got a pencil, do we? Paintbrush, measuring tape.
The wrench fits. Now, let's just hope the mast doesn't fall when I remove the connector. How about that? Rope connector gone, mast still standing. A woman needs a little luck sometimes.
Okay, back to the bridge. Look at the rope.
Let's see. This can't be all that difficult. Unfortunately, I can't do much here with just my bare hands. Other than strangle people. That ought to hold.
Okay, can we cross the bridge now? Oh, my partner's messed in a bit.
Whoa, what a mess. Who did this? Hello? Professor Hartman? Strange. No one here. What the hell happened? I ought to take a look around.
Sorry, let me just respond to my... It's not a spell between. There. Right, we have got a stand.
A four-legged stand. I
Can we
ought to
take
leave
it?
the stand where it is.
Why? Can we put the tape measure between the two of them? No. We've got a sensor. There's another stand over
It's a
there.
motion sensor.
I'll take it up. Can we stick that on the stands?
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
Firewood fireplace. There's another sensor, look.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand. Won't be attracting much interest on the local real estate market.
Let's get this firewood. We've got a lighter. I might have to put this sensor there.
Now, I ought to make a fire. It'll keep me safe tonight. From the cold and whatever else is out there.
Oh, there's a rock. I'm going to put the sensor on this one.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand. This winch holds the crate hanging from the cable. The crank is missing.
We don't have anything. Well, could we use the wrench?
The wrench fits, but I don't have enough muscle power. The winch isn't moving an inch.
We've got barrels. We've got beneath the hut we can look.
A genuine sun trap.
A sun trap. We still didn't get the ants, did we?
You want me to get a wood splinter? Even if the floorboards look rotten, you need something a little more heavy-duty than a manicured fingernail.
Okay, we've got a metal pipe.
Pipe. That's all I have to say about that. What I'd really like to know is what threw this great big locker all over the place. Feels kind of locked.
How about my... do I not have my locker key? No. Can I use the knife?
I'm not gonna get the metal locker open with that. I would need either an oversized tin opener, or, to keep it simple, the key.
Got a stick. So it's just the locker. We don't have anything really. Can we look in the hut?
Trespassing here is not prohibited. Just impossible.
Can I light the fire? Headbutt, a kick, and a powerful explosion.
Let's get cozy.
That's some fire.
All that's missing are marshmallows, a guitar, some decent ghost stories. Mind you, given recent events, I can happily do without the latter. The working range of this sensor is 160 degrees.
Okay, so that would cover the whole of the fireplace. Like that.
On the sensor it says working range 90 degrees.
No more sensors.
Before I go aimlessly tramping about in the jungle, I ought to be finding out what happened here and where the scientists have disappeared to.
So that's... oh, there's a gap, is there? So we can peek inside.
It's like the hut was cleaned out by a tornado. That tipped-over locker seems to be the only thing that hasn't been smashed or squashed. I'll pass. My delicate little fingers are not going in there just yet.
Oh, what's that? Metal pipe.
Interesting storage method. That's how you keep your grub away from the hungry fauna. If I had a jetpack, then maybe.
Can I use the paintbrush? No. I want something sweet for the ants. So that's 90 degrees, that's 160, so that would cover the whole of that area. So what's the rock for? Why wouldn't... Oh, it was stuck, wasn't it?
The wrench fits, but I don't have enough muscle power. The winch isn't moving an inch. Nothing left in it.
How do we get the ants? Oh,
Not gonna work like that. Not gonna work like that.
why can we use the brush on them?
Crates of provisions. Well, I'm not gonna starve to death here, that's for sure. The wrench fits inside the pipe.
Is it? Oh, that's for the crank. Oh, okay.
The loss of leverage.
Hopefully there's something in here to attract the ants.
I'm so excited.
Don't know what I need the
There
ants
must be
for
something
yet.
really cool in there. My favorite occupation. Plundering. Mostly fruit and veg. I'll leave that here and take everything else.
Okay, so we have got a sleeping bag, small key, solar modules, and 2 more sensors.
This sensor has a working range of 120 degrees. This sensor has a working range of 75 degrees. about to leave the stand where it is. I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
We're still missing a sensor there.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand. The mobile solar charger has to be assembled before it can be used. The regulator is a good starting point. I'd better leave it where it is.
Okay, so this, wherever that is, goes there. What was it? Adapter cable. So that's for that replacement AC adapter. Does that not hook into there? Not. Right. Hmm.
Bearing in mind I don't like puzzles, I've rather nailed that one, haven't I?
So we can charge up our phone? No? Does that work with anything we have? Oh, put that. No.
These
Look.
rocks are getting hot.
Yeah, I know they're getting hot in the sun. Put the charger down there.
No end of solar energy here. But which device should I be powering up with it?
Well, we tried that, but you wouldn't let us put it down.
Not exactly the best of the bet.
I was just replying to my wife there. Right. Okay. So I need to also get these in the right places, don't I? These sensors.
On the sensor it says working range 90 degrees.
The thing is, that might be 90. One of these is 75.
This sensor has a working range of 75 degrees.
I think I might swap these round. I want to put the 75 over here.
On the sensor, I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand. I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand. A four-legged stand. I ought to leave the stand where it is.
I can't. I don't have a fifth one for there. So this is for plugging into something. We've got a small key. We've got our sleeping bag. How do we get the ants? I don't know what I need the ants for though.
I'm not hungry right now.
Go further that way. Should I be raising that back up again?
Nope, I've already got the thing going.
Can't go
Before
that
I
way.
go in-
So that's 75. This is 160. That's 120, I think. That's 90 degrees, roughly. How do we pick the lock? How do we get into this gap?
I'll pass. My delicate little fingers are not going in there just yet.
Oh, the key. Oh, jeez. I could, yeah. Hold on a sec. I was trying to think where the key was for.
It fits. A
Laptop.
laptop for outdoor use. Fully ruggedized. Well, it survived whatever hit the hut completely unscathed. Another movement sensor. A first aid box. How useful. A letter? The professor received this letter from his wife on their wedding anniversary. Turns out married, middle-aged people have very little of interest to say to one another.
Darling, I hope these greetings manage to reach you there at the far reaches of the world. I'm sending you these few lines to mark our 22nd wedding anniversary in a quite old-fashioned style, writing by hand and on paper writing, proper writing paper. Thank you for always being there for me. Where would I be without you? Think of you and hoping that you'll soon be back home where we can catch up on our celebrations. Okay, so we'll need that date because it'll be a wedding anniversary. It's the 22nd. So they got married in 86. 2nd of April 86. So that'll be a password for something for the laptop probably. The laptop will be
What is
flat.
the sticker? That's Professor Hartman's laptop. Sadly, though, the battery's flat.
Okay, we need to attach that to
I'll
there.
connect the solar charger to the laptop. I'll put the laptop and the solar charger here in the sun.
Okay. Sensor.
A sensor with a working range of 90 degrees.
Right. It's probably that one, isn't it?
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
Can we use the laptop?
The perfect place. The laptop's protected by a code.
That's okay, we know what the code is. Do we have to actually do it ourselves? 2, 4.
Looks like some kind of diary.
First analysis have confirmed the results of my colleagues. In addition to a peculiar viral attack, the lake snail, which we have discovered here in the lake, really does have chloroplasts produced naturally by its own body. It really is quite baffling that it displays genomic features of the Elysia species, which you would normally never find in fresh water. This again raises the question of whether the snail was perhaps originally never at all native to this lake and is in fact an intrusive species. Clearly, the snail has, in just a few evolutionary steps, become symbiotic with the freshwater algae present in the lake. Parts of the genome of the as yet unclassified algae have integrated into the snail's genetic makeup, making it able to survive in this habitat.
Sounds promising. Viruses that are responsible for evolutionary leaps? That story would be an absolute scoop.
This process is unique in its manifestation and throws a completely new light on the conditions for evolutionary processes. For so many years I have been pursuing my theory concerning the influence of viruses on the changes to the genome. It's possible that I may now be able to finally prove it. Can it be that there really are viruses in these isolated waters which can rapidly drive changes within a species' genome? Could the background of history of how this lake came into being deliver decisive answers about the existence and origin of these mysterious viruses? Could it be that they have no earthly origin, but stem from the meteorite which created the lake crater? Might it even be that all evolutionary processes are favoured or initiated in a similar way? We will be working on all these questions in the coming weeks or months. If I can prove my theory, then it will surely be a bombshell in scientific thought.
Now, is there any truth to these ghost stories?
Day 1 supplement. A few mysterious happenings caused me to draw up a supplement at this point. The expedition's native participants have been touched by some inexplicable concern and agitation. 2 of them were out at dusk reconnoitering by the lake shore, and they saw something which has given them a terrible shock. It's probably some deep-rooted Ashanti legend which is playing tricks with their perceptions. According to them, when night falls, there are vampire-like beings roaming through the tree branches above our heads, on the lookout for human prey. I find this high level of superstition irritating. In the end, I have found myself obliged to introduce a few precautions to protect the camp in order to calm down the men. We've assigned guards and installed movement sensors which will set off an alarm if anyone, or anything, intrudes on the camp.
Shit. Looks like it's quite possible they're close by here. I need to be careful. At least I now know where I can find the professor. Only now all that's missing is any clue to where this Christian mission is.
Day 2 by night. All of the security measures were in vain. They came just after dark, took us completely by surprise and without a sound. We couldn't do a thing, those red eyes, the huge teeth. I'll never forget the scene. It was only with considerable effort that we were able to drive them off. Unfortunately, too late for my closest colleague. He was very badly wounded in the first attack and needs urgent medical care. Along with everything else, those who have had contact with the attackers within no time at all begin to suffer influenza-like symptoms. It's no longer safe in the camp. We're therefore going to set out immediately and try to make it to the Christian mission. I know how dangerous it is in the jungle at night time, but it can hardly get any worse, and we're all definitely going to keep together. I would hope that I can return with some healthy men tomorrow in daylight and secure our expedition's research results. There's no time for that now. They are going to come back. May God be with us.
No saved mail. And if I was going to send or receive any, then I'd also need an internet connection. This is where Hartman saved the pictorial info from the current expedition. The map of the camp.
Ah. Here's the angles. This is what we needed for the angles. Okay. Okay, so this is the 90-degree one. We've got two 90-degree ones anyway. So that's 90. That's 90. We had a 75, so that's a 75. That's 120, I think, was that one, and 160 was the last one. 160 there.
A map of the region to the south of the Basumtwi. Aha! That over there to the west has to be the mission that Hartman wrote about in his notes. Even the most ambitious scientist has to switch off every now and then. Can't wait to see what kind of music the prof's into. No forecast without the internet. It doesn't make sense to set off for the mission now. I don't want to be wandering about in the jungle after dark. I'll spend the night here in the camp. Chasing after our scientists will have to wait until tomorrow. I'll set up the motion sensors and build a nice big fire to keep the beasties at bay.
Right, so this one has to be 75.
This sensor has a working range of 75 degrees.
Yep, I already set that.
A sensor with a working range
Yep.
of 90 degrees.
I think I set this one to 90 as well, maybe. Or maybe the wrong.
This sensor has a working
No.
range of 120 degrees.
Wait, I need to swap that with this one. No, don't take the stand, take the sensor. I did not bad considering we weren't looking down from the top. 2 minutes until adverts.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of... This sensor has a I ought to leave the stand where it is.
Yeah, I know. I need to put the sensor on.
I'm thinking that the sensor belongs on top of the stand.
There we go.
Looks like the sensors are set up according to plan. There. All done. Now I'm gonna get some shut-eye. And in the morning, I'll head to the mission and track down this research team. What are they? Animals? Nasty. I need to scare them off somehow.
Do not just use the megaphone thing. There. That's my adverts on. I will go have a bio break, get some coffee and some water or something. I will be right back. Okay, we've almost got it. I'm going to do a heal on Velvet.
Light healer! First aid! Better weapons up!
Right, let's go in and see if I can help. Yeah, it was definitely X, right. Oh, there's still more barrels. Only backwards X. What happened there? Only backwards X, left to right is dodge, okay. He blew himself up. Can I use a health thing? I can't. We've tried the boss. It's a 3-stage boss fight. We got to the very last boss fight and died, so we're back trying to level up. Don't like these guys either. Another plateau. Yeah, right, I think if I get up to this bit, that should be high enough. Oh, what's this? Why is there a rock in the middle of the path? No! Up in here. Come back. We made it. Just don't fall off the edge. Ooh. Right. Oh no, they're too far away as well. Oh no. Ah! Right, let's see what this little dude's up to. Let's pick up this thing over here. Oh no.
Oh no, I'm in so much trouble, so much trouble. Won't somebody please help a kitty out? Meow.
Oh, look, another weirdo.
That thing talks? What if it's a cat thief?
Simmer
Got a
down,
cat.
big man. She's just a cat.
And slaughter this. No, you can stay well away, please. Ah. You're there on purpose, aren't you? So I can't get lost. Whoa, whoa! I didn't see that. What do I do here? Oh, we gotta hit that again. Probably. Yeah, to flip it up. Yeah, okay, and then stasis that, right. I'm gonna stasis that first. Elastic fiber. Oh, it's only on PlayStation, okay. Oh, right, Strikers is maybe the one I saw. Okay. Hey, back again. Weep Cruise, how are you today? Yeah, spooky with the red eyes. Right. How are we going to scare them off? Spilt water myself. I didn't pee myself. Right. Can we put something into the fire like the old bat trays? No. We've got a first aid kit. What's in there?
I'll check the first aid kit.
Got some pure alcohol. That would set that on fire a lot, wouldn't it? Painkillers. Gauze bandages. Hey, we've got a lot of stuff. Which I don't know what to use half of it for. Oh, we can mix the alcohol
There are a
in.
few ingredients missing from my favorite cocktail, such as rum and vodka and gin, maybe a little tequila. I also don't have any ice. Anyway, I've got more important things to do than get hammered in the jungle.
Okay, so we couldn't do that. How do we scare these guys
This is
off?
getting really weird. Those red eyes. There must be more than a dozen of them out there. Perhaps I can find something to scare them off before they realize my fire isn't so scary after all.
What can I do? There's so much stuff. We still haven't had a use for the TDM you're doing is they're gonna drive you soon. How are you getting on with Iodine Chronicle spiced? How are you this morning? Apart from driving you something driving you up the wall. Hope you're enjoying the actual game. Okay, can I mix anything? You're maxing everyone's weapons for achievement. Ah, okay. Right, these bandages. What can we use these bandages for? $120 times 15 weapon levels. More you than me then. Hi, Baron. Baron. Hi, are you going to open your window? Want some treats? Let me give Baron some treats. Come up here. You can see his back, but that's about it. There we go. There's Baron. Treats for Baron. I don't know what to use any of this stuff on. Oh, he's not even staying, he's going away out the camera shot now. Oh no, he's back. Just. Hey, Silent One. Can we put anything into the... Can we put the batteries in anything?
That one out, that one in.
Oh, that's to make a different noise. Do we need that?
This hog herder's already rendered me a fine service.
Yeah. Don't know. Can we put anything on the fire? Try that. You're not staying, Baron? You're going away.
The fire seems to be keeping the beasties at a distance, for now. But they're not being driven away by it.
Wash.
Maybe it'll give them a fright. They're gone. Hopefully they're gonna stay gone too. It won't be too long now until sunrise. What a night. I never got back to sleep. What were those things? Hey, maybe I caught them on camera.
Maybe you did. Can we have a look?
What the? In all the horror movies I've ever watched, I've never seen anything like this.
Now what then? Can we go into the jungle?
It's a westerly direction to get to the mission. Professor, I'm on my way.
They weren't pretty, were they? I haven't saved in a while. I should probably save. She stopped running just because I saved it.
The mission. At last. Hello? Anyone home?
Doesn't look like it.
God
Oh,
be
there is.
praised, my child. What can I do for you?
My name is Samantha Peters. I'm looking for a group of scientists. Their leader is called Professor Hartman. According to the notes I found in their camp, they were headed here before they disappeared.
Yes, the men you're looking for arrived here yesterday.
Finally, I've caught up. Can you take me to them?
Unfortunately, that's not possible. They are in quarantine.
Quarantine?
They are very ill. They have high fevers and are unresponsive. Nobody is allowed near them until the doctor gets here. We want to avoid any possible spread of the disease.
Can't I at least have a brief talk with Professor Hartman? It really is very important.
The professor isn't here.
Why not?
Not here. Where is he?
If I've understood the men correctly, they were attacked at night and the professor was taken away.
Damn it. Do you know who attacked them?
You have to go now, my child. It is not safe here when the darkness falls.
What aren't you telling me? What is it that you're so afraid of? I'm not going anywhere until you tell me what's going on here.
Child, I just want to protect you. If I let you in, you could become infected. And outside, you are not safe from the...
Yes, not safe from what? In the scientist's notes, it says that one of them was attacked by some animal species he didn't recognize before he became ill.
That was no animal.
Well, what was it then? For Christ's sakes! Oh, forgive me.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Listen, sister. You will now talk, or else I will break the fifth commandment. Who ambushed the scientists and dragged off the professor?
They come from above. The trees.
Locals? Rebels? Hunters?
No, not humans.
Well, what then? Not animals? Not humans? Aliens, perhaps?
The Asambosam.
Asambosam? Never heard of him.
Ancient Ashanti legends tell of strange nighttime beings that lurk in wait for their victims among the boughs of the trees. They pluck unfortunate souls from the ground using their long, sharp claws and then drag them off to their caves where they then suck the blood from their victims' bodies.
So what does your boss have to say about your believing in such blasphemous scare stories?
Scare stories? When you have lived among the Ashanti as long as I have, there's very little that appears unbelievable.
Let's reel this conversation back in from the nether regions of God's asshole and stick to the facts. I shot this photo last night. This little freak was one of a whole group sitting in the trees above me. Might this be one of your Asambosam?
Holy Maria, Mother of God, you can count your blessings that you are still alive, my child.
So these freaks really have schlepped off the professor then? Suppose it's true. Where would the Asambosam take their victims?
Into their caves.
I got that bit. Where are they exactly?
My child, you really don't want to go there.
Yes, I do. There's one hell of a real scoop of a story there for sure. And I just might be able to save the professor while I'm at it. That is, as long as these things haven't sucked him dry already.
Then I really won't be able to stop you, my child. Wait here a moment. This will be a great help to you on your reckless undertaking. Take it.
What is it?
Some intense studies of the Asambosam and Ashanti legends.
Thanks.
May the Lord watch over you.
Okay, so the Asambosam, or more commonly the Sasabosam, is a vampire-like folkloric being from the Akan people. It belongs to the folklore of the Akan of southern Ghana, as well as the Côte d'Ivoire and Togo, and 18th century Jamaica. It is said to have iron teeth, pink skin, long red hair, and iron hooks for feet, and lives in trees attacking from above. In the forests of West Africa, there were rules of renewal, and the Sasabosam would enforce these rules. They take up territory in the trees and the forests, where they live and feed on people that wander into their home. While being humanoid, these creatures have bat-like features. They resemble bats, while such a feature would be their wings, which are near 20 feet long. A good representation can be seen from the British Museum, with the Sasabosam figure they have in their collections is carved out of wood and estimated to have been made in 1935. Côte d'Ivoire. Okay. Thank you, Veru. It's French for Ivory Coast. Okay. Thank you for that. Every day is a learning experience. Need to learn something new every day. So I guess we're not staying here. No, we're going to have to look through this. We've got a graveyard, grassy area. Lots of plants that we can pick.
I don't think the sister will be all that crazy for a bunch of wildflowers that grow on her doorstep. If it's the effort that counts, then this is just insulting.
So what are we looking at? It's all just plants.
I don't. I don't.
And nothing's highlighting either.
I don't think.
Are they just showing off with their graphics?
Julius, 1767 to 1832. Here lie my mortal remains. I just wish they were yours. That's terrible. Nothing good comes from interacting with gravestones. Sister Josephine, 1852 to 1904. Here rest her bones, and for the first time, alone. Cheeky. Billy, 1907 to 2006. Only the good die young. Either he had a low opinion of himself or a wicked sense of humor. On the gravestone it says, J.H.M. Excuse me for not standing up. Must have been a proper gentleman. Or a Groucho Marx fan. Father Samuel's grave. Strange. No epitaph, no date of birth, no date when he died. Just the name. Oh, and 9 curious symbols chiseled into the stone. Looks like lines and trees.
Are we not allowed to look at it?
Father Sam. Strange. Oh, and I may at times have let myself get talked into things. I also may have been incentivized by the odd payment. But an empty clay bowl. Who left this here?
We will take that. I wonder what if we can do anything with the. Can we do pencil rubbings or anything on the
It's going to be damned difficult for me to copy the symbols without a sheet of paper.
free ball? Yeah. Well, we've got a letter. Can we not just use the? Oh, I haven't looked in this book.
This is where the notes begin. So there were already patients at the mission with the same symptoms as the scientists.
The strange goings on that I have been witnessing recently have prompted me recommence with making my regular diary entries, starting today. My notes should help me later when I try to draw the correct conclusions from these happenings. In the early hours of the morning, my mat stuck to my glass. They brought to us what was now the third labourer from the Bosumptwe road building project. The men had found him during the night shift, just as they had the others, senseless and somewhat away from where the actual roadworks are taking place. The poor souls are battling the whole time to vainly make him regain consciousness. They appear to be suffering from an illness which is unknown to us. Their skin appears yellowish and they have a high fever which racks their bodies with irregular cramps. Their faces and upper bodies also bear bloody wounds which have the appearance of scratches. Our order's sisters are only able to offer limited help. But while we don't really know what we are up against here, we can't heal these men. We can only fight the symptoms and alleviate the pain. The neediest ones need to be taken to a proper hospital as soon as possible.
So were these men under attack from the same creatures?
Today, one of the patients was responsive for a brief period. I was expecting answers to my questions about his perhaps eating some strange plant or having come into contact with a wild animal. But all that I got back from him was a disjointed stammering which sounded to me as though he was trying to warn us about something or other.
Let's see. Here it is. The attackers came out of the trees and surrounded them.
They're in the trees. As a result of the heavy rainfall of the past few days, the landing strip is now in a pitiful condition, and it would seem that this construction company doesn't value the lives of these sick indigenous men highly enough to send a helicopter. So it looks like they will have to stay with us here for some indeterminate time. Today each of the men was awake for a few minutes. My questioning about the possible causes of their ill health, however, once again passed without any result. I am simply unable to make any kind of coherent whole from all of the fragmented information of this puzzle. Just what I got to hear was too unbelievable. All three had become separated from the rest of their fellow labourers during a break, when they were attacked by something must have been lurking up in the trees above them. As they recounted this, the horror of the recollection of these happenings was written across their faces before they then fell back into the deceptive peace of deep unconsciousness. What then had come down out of the branches to attack the labourers? Could it perhaps have been a snake? Such attacks on humans are heard of repeatedly, but such incidents are extremely rare. And then, how is it that these labourers bear no signs of strangulation nor bite marks, only these terrible lacerations? I'm at a loss.
Interesting. There had also been similar cases in the past.
The patient's state of health remains critical. They are in a permanent twilight state, during which the fever fits come and go, but I am also finally able to report something positive. I did in fact come across a highly promising clue yesterday. I found reports with descriptions of a quite similar pattern of illness in our order's records. It was about 60 years ago that a British surveyor was attacked, following which he then suffered fever, cramps, and the yellowing of the skin, and was bright to our mission. According to the records, the victim spoke during the fever episodes of demons with long claws and fangs which had waylaid him in the night from out of the trees. The similarities between the events of then and now are obvious. I definitely have to find out more about this. If I only knew what we were dealing with here, I could then perhaps help the sick labourers.
The locals call the attackers the Asambosam. They're also supposed to be responsible for transmitting a virus. The old Ashanti shamans were able to control these mysterious beings and could protect themselves from the disease.
I have returned today from a 2-day journey. On account of the miserable road conditions, I had to make my way to the next village on foot, but my efforts were worth it. Because there was an Ashanti shaman there, old Kunabi. We've known one another for many years, and neither he nor I harbour any kind of prejudice or resentment on account of our rather different views of the world and belief systems. Rather more, I respect his wisdom and experience, and they were once again of inestimable value to me. Although his stories in this case did require a high degree of the suspension of disbelief. According to his telling, the British land surveyor, as well as the native road labourers, were all attacked by the faceless ones. In the language of the Ashanti, these beings are known as the Asambosam. They're ancient and live in caves which they only leave at night. They lurk in the branches of the trees looking for their prey, but will only attack what they believe to be intruders on their territory. The shaman underscored his story with gruesome descriptions of these beings which very much reminded me of the old vampire legends of Eastern Europe. I hope that these creatures exist only in the realms of myth. Hey Lars. Yeah, it's going fine so far. How are you today? Kunabi also had some rather less gruesome and also all the more interesting information to impart. For the old shamans, these beings were apparently the guardians of the forest, and they maintained direct contact with the Asambosam. They knew where they hid, and were able to control them, and above all, protect themselves from the disease they carried. According to Kunabi, this knowledge was unfortunately lost over the passage of time, but he reassured me that the legend is true and that the Asambosam do still live in the jungle, and do still protect it. Should this be true, I then need to discover the secret at all costs. You're doing good? That's great.
The priest found himself in great danger on his quest for the antidote.
The labourers have now been in our care for almost 2 weeks. As before, they are still suffering from fever and cramps. Barely anything has changed in their condition. The puzzling sickness has them firmly in its grasp. Even though I am completely aware of the dangers these past few nights, I have been out rambling in the jungle. Should there be just a spark of truth in it, the old shaman story, then I will rediscover the lost wisdom, not least to help the sick labourers here in our mission.
The Asambosum exist. Now it's gonna get interesting.
I'm still quite confused. He spoke the truth. Every one of Kunabi's words is true. The Asambosum exist. I ought now to treat myself to a little peace. The effort demands its payment. My exhaustion and fatigue will be conquered with a few hours of sleep for sure. Once rested, I shall carry on with my diary tomorrow.
Ugh, such a lot of text. The priest stumbled across one of these Asambosum and followed him to a cave.
Last night I went further into the jungle than I had ever been before. My route led me in the direction of the lake, and I took a rest in a small clearing. It was as still as the grave. No crickets, no frogs, no birds, nothing. Only the quiet rustling of the leaves. I looked around, but could hardly make out a thing in the pale moonlight. As my eyes explored the jungle foliage and gradually adjusted more and more to the sparse light conditions, there it suddenly was, not 5 meters above me. There it was squatting, staring blankly at me. Its silhouette was barely discernible from the grey-blue background, but I quite definitely recognized the being. I noticed how it scrutinized me, stared at me, and sized me up. It must have paused there for quite some time, and I felt a nice cold chill down my spine. What was going to happen now? Suddenly Kunabi's description came into my mind. Razor-sharp teeth, long powerful arms, sharp claws to drag the defenseless victim up into the branches. No myth here, hard reality. Even now, as I pen these lines, my breath falters as I think back to this situation. Then suddenly the Asambosum vanished. What kept him from leaping on me, I don't know. He probably saw me as not being a threat, and luckily for me he wasn't hungry either. Whatever, he skillfully darted off through the branches as fast as an ape. The Lord only knows where I found the courage, but I set off after him. Notwithstanding some considerable effort, I eventually found myself standing in front of the Asambosum's cave. I'm going to return to the location tomorrow and we'll explore
The
further.
translation of the inscriptions at the cave entrance brought something astonishing to light. It detailed a description of a ritual which could protect against catching the Asambosum disease, and which could also cure it.
After a thorough investigation of the entrance to the caves, I am convinced that it was made by the Ashanti shamans. All around it I found numerous heavily weathered inscriptions which I have just translated this evening. Was I in the cave? No. I am truly a God-fearing man, and for that reason, following the encounter of the previous evening, I was unwilling to once again make demands on the presence of the Lord. Nobody should unnecessarily expose themselves to the danger that lurks in those caves. I have therefore decided to take my knowledge with me to the grave. If some poor soul should ever see themselves forced to enter into the caves, the seeker will then find the required guidance. What I originally wanted to know, I was able to garner from the inscriptions on the walls at the entrance to the caves. In these, the old shamans describe a ritual which protects them from the Asambosum disease. This involved the shamans burning certain ingredients in a pot next to the entrance to the caves before they entered the cave to cleanse themselves in the smoke from the mixture. I intend to use this ritual on our patients here. Hopefully the healing concoction will have a positive effect.
They carried out the ritual, and despite no ready explanations for how, it worked. These experiences really rocked Father Samuel's concept of the world.
I have something joyful to report. Following my carrying out the shaman's ritual, our patients are doing considerably better. The fever has eased, and yesterday the 3 labourers were awake for several hours. They are most certainly on the road to recovery, and I'm quite sure that in a few days' time they will be completely well again and can be discharged. Although the way that this medicine works remains a mystery to me, its success is obvious and is quite surely nothing to do with a miracle. There is so much in this world that we do not understand. Much may be hidden to us and much appears impossible to us. And yet it is there, and sometimes it even shakes our belief.
This is where it lists what you need for the ritual and how to carry it out.
Okay, we know where these flowers are. The protection ritual. Before one can enter the home of Asambosum, one must first of all cleanse oneself in smoke. To do this, one should burn the following ingredients in a pot directly next to the entrance. So pot, entrance. So we need pure alcohol, we've got that. We need sugar, ant secretions, 5. The herbs are blossom, from the Gothi plant, hyacinth, rose herb, star lily, and alyssum. I'll never remember what they look like, but
Wow, it's incredible. I suppose I have to accustom myself to the notion that the Abominable may not be pure fiction. The priest's very convincing. Unfortunately, he took his knowledge of the route to the cave to the grave with him. At least I now know how I can protect myself from the Abominable disease. When I find out where they're hiding, I still might be able to rescue the professor. Oh, a loose page has fallen out. It's blank.
yeah, a loose page has fallen out.
That reminds me. What's a blonde doing when she's staring at an empty sheet of paper? According to my last boyfriend, she's reading her rights. Har bloody har.
Sam, you saw them. Yeah, we did. She did. Can I put this on the tombstone and rub over it?
Great. That lets me transfer the symbols onto the paper. The pencils had it, but I've now got perfect copies of the 9 symbols on Father Samuel's gravestone. I've transferred the ornamentation from the gravestone onto the paper.
But we're not allowed to look at them. Okay. Right, so we've got the alcohol. We don't have sugar. We've got painkillers. We've got sugary drink, lemonade. We don't have the ant secretions. I'm not sure how to catch them. Right, that was one of them.
Looks like the Goethe plant. I'll pluck myself a blossom from it.
I can't remember the name.
I ought to concentrate on the plants I need,
Yeah.
as listed in the diary. Star lily. Very pretty. 1 blossom for my hair, 1 for the ritual, and 1 to stamp under my feet as an expression of rebellion. I ought to concentrate on the plants I need, as listed in the diary. 1 blossom from the hyacinth is enough, according to the diary.
Rose herb.
I ought to concentrate. A few stems of alyssum also need to go in the pot.
What does the rose herb look like again?
I ought to concentrate.
I could just look back here, couldn't I? Pinky with white. They're not them.
That has to be rose herb. I need a stalk from it.
Okay, so it's only the ants that I need to try and get. Now, I presume we can just... No, we can't put these in there yet. We've got the alcohol. No, so we can't actually do anything with the pot yet until we're at the cave.
The Abominable's caves must be near here. Hopefully the professor's doing all right.
Right, how do I get the ants? That's the problem. Ant secretions. We could use the paintbrush on them.
Not gonna work like that.
How? Why is it not going to work like that? So it sounds like it's the paintbrush, doesn't it? How do we get the ant secretions? Yeah, I tried the lemonade previously, but it doesn't want to do anything. The paintbrush is the only thing we've managed to get like an interaction from. There's nothing else here, it's just them. And the lemonade doesn't work with anything. It works with alcohol, but I tried this before and it
There
didn't
are
do.
a few ingredients missing from my favorite cocktail, such as rum and vodka and gin, maybe a little tequila. I also don't have any ice. Anyway, I've got more important things to do than get hammered in the jungle.
Oh, we can put
Let's
that into there.
decant this delicate brew.
Right. Can I put that down onto the bees? No. On the ants, Maybe we just need to put all this together first. No.
A bowl of lemonade.
Right, what can we do with the lemonade? Paint it.
Lemonade's too thin to apply to a paintbrush.
We need to thicken up the lemonade. But we don't have anything.
The lemonade's too thin to apply to a paintbrush.
Do we have anything to thicken it up with?
I'm not that hungry yet.
Oh, hold on. Can we go to the campfire and oh, it's out. Can I light that again? And reduce the mixture down.
Home economics is for housewives. Boiling the lemonades
There we
makes
go.
thick, sticky syrup.
Okay, so now we can paint that onto the ants, presumably.
That should work.
Okay, right, let's go back to the ants.
Gotcha. The ant stuck to the brush. Almost too easy. I had to give it a go with chopsticks. Gotcha. One more.
Did we get them all? No. You're gonna be a horrible little nasty one and not gonna be clickable. Where is he?
A respectable
God,
kill.
yeah.
Peters, the big small game hunter.
Never would have figured it out. It's just I cook a lot, so I have to reduce stuff down quite a lot. That's the only reason I knew that. Okay, so we should have all the ingredients. 5 ants. We should have syrup for the sugar. So we just need to find the cave. How do we find the cave?
I won't get any more out of the sister. With any luck, everything I need to know about the Asambos.
Yeah, but how do we get there now? Let me save that. I have to go and find these caves. So how do we find the caves?
I've transferred the ornamentation from the gravestone onto the paper.
Where's the cave? How did we get to the caves? How do I get to the cave?
Among the ornamentation on Father Samuel's gravestone, you can recognize lines, symbols, and stylized trees. Could these possibly be elements of a map that have to be correctly arranged?
That's that bit of paper.
I've transferred the ornamentation from the gravestone onto the paper.
Yeah. Can we use that on something then?
Okay, I'll carefully cut out the different symbols.
Okay.
I can't exactly say I'm
Oh,
crazy
right.
about puzzles.
Hey, how are you meant to figure that out?
I'll take this part as my starting piece.
Go there. Don't think that goes there. That's the church, isn't it? That looks like the church. That goes there. More bubbly bits there. That must go over there. Doesn't, but it doesn't, does it? I have to look at the shading on the paper as well. Right, that's that bit. So presumably these are all at this side. That looks as though it goes there. I'll top over these bits.
A map.
There.
The route to the Asambosum's caves. The entrance to the caves, and no sign of the professor.
Big spider.
I'd better go in and take a look. After carrying out the written instructions for Father Samuel's protection ritual, of course. I have absolutely no inclination to go catching hideous jungle monster disease.
Let me just save. Right, so I guess there's pots there. So we need alcohol. Sugar. Ants. Rose herb. Star lily.
And in it goes.
That one.
So, that ought to be all the ingredients.
Then you light it, don't you? Because it's a smoke.
Let's see what happens. Ugh, the way that stinks, just the smoke could keep pretty much anything away from me. Whoa, was that one of those things?
Okay, we have a passage. We have a mask.
A mask with eyes, mouth, and some kind of war paint. Even more passages. Really does seem to be more extensive than I first thought.
Okay, these symbols obviously mean something. for directions. I think it's directions. We go that one. It's the same as the other mask.
Looks different from the other rocks. What is it? A lump of resin. It's supposed to burn like tinder.
Can I go back there? I just want to write down the symbols. Right, we've got a wall painting.
It's like some kind of graphic novel. The story begins with a man choosing children from a large group. They follow him into a cave, and the door closes after them. The children continue to live there while the man teaches them to fight. The man also gives them food, and so the children gradually grow into men. But what is that? The children seem to change on the way. Their arms become longer, and they get great big fangs like predatory animals. Pretty gruesome. Looks like one of those weird lamps they sell in the Scandinavian furnishing store around the corner back home. I feel like it's there for a reason. Best leave it alone for now.
We got anything we could put inside it, like the resin?
Let's fuel this lamp and see what happens. The resin's burning. The poor children. If I only knew how they were changed, they'd make the story of the century. Perhaps the professor knows the answer. If he's still alive. The lamp's focusing the glow from the burning resin onto the cave wall. I should take a closer look. I feel like it's there for a reason.
She didn't say anything different though.
The poor children. Perhaps the professor knows the answer. If he's still alive.
Okay, let's try going out different doors.
Out of order.
Okay, we've been here before. That takes us back outside. Let's try this one.
Not the slightest trace of Prof. Hartman. only more passages that lead deeper into the caves.
Right, I want to go with this one. Ah, I don't have any more resin, do I? Maybe we would need to keep a note on the pictures that... Oh no, there is resin. So it's the... row 1, 2 at the start.
Let's fuel this lamp and see what...
This is 5, 5. So this is the... that route.
That... but was that an animal? Or a human? Or...
There's no resin line here, look. Don't have any resin.
Let's fuel this lamp and see what happens.
So that's 2, 2. Another one, but no resin again. Okay, we need the pictures to unlock this. I wasn't writing down the pictures.
This mechanism with the 5 stone wheels would appear to open the door in this room.
Well, that was one of them. I'd have to go back and see what the pictures were. So we don't know what this one is. That's the rock. How many's on that one? It's like they're smaller. It's a adult with 2 smaller kids on the right. 221 was rock or something. 1 person standing there. 5, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was this guy here? Okay. Are we missing one? We don't know this one until we get another bit of resin. There.
Looks different from the other rocks. What is it? Let's fuel this lamp and see what happens.
Guess that's 4-2. And it's somebody holding a pot. Okay, so we've got all the codes. It just depends which order. That's the wrong one. It's that one. I think we try and go with... Okay, that's not showing the one I wanted, so it has to be that one. Oh, there's 5. Hold on, there's 5. I've only found 4. Okay. That one. That one. So this one we don't know.
Nothing. Professor! Those damn creatures.
Right, we need to scare them off somehow or see what this matter.
I wouldn't like to make myself any more obvious to the Asambosum. I don't think the ritual protects me from being eaten alive. Things are getting tight here. The battery's almost empty. Herr Professor! Professor Hartman, can you hear me? He's obviously in some considerable pain. I'm not going to be able to move him until those wounds are patched up and he's feeling better.
We have got bandages.
That should keep the blood off my clothes, and, broadly speaking, inside him. At least until I get him out of here.
Painkillers, probably need.
Here, get these down, you prof. That will have to do until we get back to the mission. Don't worry, Professor. I'll get us out of here.
2 days later.
Hey, Professor. You look considerably less shit than you did when I found you 2 days ago.
Good morning, Tazam. How
Welcome
are
back
you?
to the land of the living.
Thank you for the expressive compliment. The sisters have looked after us quite devotedly. And of course, my deepest thanks to you for your getting me out of there, Miss...
Peters. Sam Peters.
Ah, and you are the journalist. Please forgive me for setting off without you, but the situation left me with no other choice.
Forgiven and forgotten. If you give me the story as promised.
Of course.
So you have a few minutes for me then?
Take a long look at me. Do I look like I've got anything else planned? I'm just not entirely sure that I'll be able to give you all of the answers.
Let's find out.
You want to know what the Asambosum are?
Spill it, Prof.
They are humans, I'm sure of that. Did you see the wall paintings in the caves?
Yeah.
The Ashanti were always a very secretive people with an extraordinary bond with nature. As with all native peoples, their living space also forms the basis for their existence. They naturally defend it with every means at their disposal. At some point, the Ashanti shaman must have realized that they would not be able to defend their lands indefinitely from outsiders. They therefore trained up some quite exceptional warriors.
The ritual that's shown in the cave paintings.
Correct.
But those things don't appear to be human in any way. What happened?
Well, it happens that there is a particular species of snail, which is incidentally the reason we were here at Lake Bosomtwi in the first place.
Whose genome has changed through eating the algae brought here by the meteorite.
Yes, exactly. The algae may have been carrying a virus, which, over a relatively short period of time, triggers a rapid genetic mutation in a species. There are supporting cases. On the Indonesian island of Flores, they found the fossilized remains of a very small but adult human who was a genetic successor to Homo
And the nurse,
erectus. All
the nuns
evidence
haven't cleaned his
suggests
face
this
up either.
subspecies of dwarves evolved in only a few generations as a result of their isolated environment, and in
He's
response
been in that
to
bed
the
for
narrow,
2 days and
concealing
he's not
caves
washed his face.
of the region.
An unbelievable evolutionary step.
Relative to conventional evolution, this process really did take place at the speed of light.
As with the Asambosam.
Possibly. Perhaps, as with the snail and the algae, the virus is the explanatory factor across all these examples.
How far does this go?
Perhaps the shaman knew that the algae possessed some form of mutational capability and raised his warriors on it. The terrifying result you've witnessed firsthand.
Then these warriors are designed with the sole purpose of keeping outsiders like us away.
That is my interpretation, yes.
And what about this disease they carry?
That, alas, is one of the questions I cannot currently answer. The Asambosam themselves appear to be immune to it. Perhaps it's a further defense mechanism.
Do you think that they killed anyone?
No, at least not directly. The evidence so far suggests they were designed to keep potential aggressors at bay, not to actively eliminate them.
So what now? As snail research goes, Professor, this story is more sensational than most.
That may well be the case.
But?
The shaman and the Ashanti have only been acting in the best interests of their people and in perceived self-defense.
And that justifies their turning children into monsters?
We don't have to approve morally. But does morality apply in the case of survival? Doesn't every nation do reprehensible things every day in the name of survival? Clearly, we are not the first Westerners to come here, and I doubt the intentions of all such visitors are as benign as our own. In this special case, I have to ask myself, even as a scientist, is knowing the answers more important than doing the right thing?
Answers are what we're paid for.
Then I hope never to see the day that we run out of questions. Do what you think is right.
So, I have to make a decision. Should I go ahead and publish the story?
I would guess a reporter would probably just go ahead and publish the story. Morally, I would go no.
I simply didn't have the heart. May a cloak of silence remain forever over the existence of the Asambosam. Freedom really is so much more important than anything else. Talking of freedom, that's something I can also enjoy limitlessly, though sadly not on my little sailboat. When I got back to Hamburg without a single line of copy, my editor flipped and bounced me back onto the street. Whether or not he managed to get over the small heart attack that followed, I'm afraid I don't know. And frankly, I don't give a damn. It's time for me to drop by on Max in Berlin again. Perhaps he'll finally even introduce me to his beloved Nina. From the way he went on about her in Indonesia, I don't think they'll be apart for too long. And maybe he'll have a fabulously lucrative job for me and get that sailboat back on track.
The end? Okay. Why did they mention the Loch Ness Monster and stuff? That's strange. Oh, that was short. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, very. It definitely mentioned like the Loch Ness Monster in the blurb on the store page. I'm gonna go back into there and have a look at that. I'm not sure which. I haven't picked another game because I thought this would last maybe a couple of streams. I have no idea which adventure game to play next. There's always Minecraft, yeah. Well, you wonder if choices lead to different places. Yeah. That's the only one of them, isn't it? If I quit out Sam Peters. Bigfoot, the Abominable Snowman, the Loch Ness Monster. Cryptozoologists are trying to track these creatures down and research them. One also appears in the legends. Oh, okay, so it's no, so it was just that. Okay. It was pretty short. I think that's them all. Yeah, that's all the Secret Files games. I don't know what this one is. What was this one? Is that a different thing? That's different, isn't it? That's different. Yeah. Okay.